Hello, happy Tuesday to you guys. Welcome to BlackwellTV. We're going to be going through the patch notes for you today. It's April 27th, 2021. Locked and loaded. Update notes are available for you. We're going to go through in detail, so take a look. All right, hello, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. So today's update for 76 marks the start of Season 4, includes some new features like the special loadouts and camp slots. And we're going to just read this through and I'll narrate it basically and add some thoughts if we see any on the way. So welcome to the Locked and Loaded update for 76, which contains an all-new season, scoreboard and rewards, special loadouts, camp slots, features, a major expansion for it, daily ops, and much more. Update highlights are as shown. It's been causing some problems on PC. I believe the maintenance is extended, so we're not live in game just yet, but it's been a long day, you know, for Bethesda, so, you know, benefit of the doubt sort of situation, I think. Anyway, update highlights. Claim new loot in Season 4. Fallout 76 Season 4 starts today with an all-new scoreboard, 100 ranks to achieve, and tons of rewards for you to earn. There's more consumables than ever before, which I'm not a fan of, but, you know, there's a lot of free content here as well, and it is free for everyone who's got Fallout 76, so there is that, you know, kudos to them for doing that. Reboot your special after level 25, use punch card machines to reset your special, change your perks, and save them into one of 2 custom slots. You can do that at any train station, you can build it at your own camp, you can go to Foundation, you can go to Crater, and you can go to Fort Atlas as well, and you can do it there as well. You have to be level 25 to do so. You know, all the new content starts at level 20 anyway, so it's not too far off, you know, it's not too bad. Build a second home. The new camp slots feature allows you to construct and maintain a second... Sorry, just to zoom in a bit to make it a bit easier to read for everybody. Where are we? The new camp slots feature allows you to construct and maintain a second camp in addition to your current home. Pretty cool. If you're, you know, loading into a world and your first base can't be placed, maybe you can place your second one. That'd be pretty cool. Vending and display updates alongside camp slots with streamlined player vending machines and display cases, which you can now use inside your shelters. That's great. Also, the vending machines, you don't need all 4 of them now to store all your gear. You can just do it in one. So they've comped that down a little bit, which is quite nice as well. Double the daily ops. Dive into the new description game mode and claim new rewards as you conquer new randomized events, mutations, and locations. This one's been a lot of fun in the PTS, a lot of a challenge as well. Some of the extra roles and variables are pretty cool. Bit more of a challenge for players as well. If they want to go solo, they'll, you know, be faced with a little bit more of a challenge. So I think that's pretty cool. And user interface improvements. They've added aim assist option to the settings, batch crafting, sliders to workbenches, and a big update for the world activity menu as well. So typically where it says daily ops in the bottom left when you check your map, there's going to be more stuff there for you to check out, ongoing events and stuff like that as well. I think also any sort of local vending machines in the area as well, so you can, you know, fast travel to those without actually finding them on the map. So that's quite nice. Updates. Sizes, I don't think they're that accurate. I think they're a little bit off with those numbers. I think my update on Bethesda net was 35 gigs, so not sure about these figures, but we'll see as we go. Obviously, they've had some issues as well, and apparently this big update allows future updates to be a lot smaller as well, so they've obviously changed how they've done things a little bit there, changed the architecture or whatnot. Okay, Season 4 Armor Ace in Cold Steel. We're kicking off Season 4 and introducing an all-new scoreboard with the arrival of today's Locked and Loaded update. Join Armor Ace and the Power Patrol as they seek to put an end to their frigid rivalry with Commissioner Chaos and his band of rogue robots, the Yukon 5. The new scoreboard features 100 ranks to achieve as you rank up, and the Power Patrol squares off against the Yukon 5 one by one. Now, obviously, this is just a fictional scoreboard. You don't actually encounter these enemies in the game or anything like that. So yeah, bear that in mind. New rewards, as always, we've added a host of new rewards, which you will unlock as you rank up. Power armor paints, weapon skins, outfits, cosmetics, camp items, in-game currencies, consumables, pet card packs, and more. We've also added prior season rewards, the antique speed bag and perfect bubblegum to Mortimer at the Crater and Samuel at Foundation, so you can buy them with gold bullion. Additionally, we've once again added several bonuses rewards for Fallout First members as well. There's a couple of skins in there as well, so it's not just consumables for the Fallout First people as well. Just bear that in mind. If you get to the end of the season and then you pick up a Fallout First, then you can retrospectively pick up those additional bonuses, so bear that in mind as well. If, for example, we head into May and the Fallout First item of the month, it's pretty cool. If you want to get that, then you can get these bonuses as well. Think about it that way. Mannequins. This season introduces mannequins, which are display cases that you can show off some of your favorite outfits, headwear, armor, under armor, and backpacks. It does work for armor as well, so yeah, they've not added it to the list, but it does. You can put armor on them. We've checked in the BTS, unless they've changed it since. You can claim a set of male and female for your camp by reaching rank 25 on the scoreboard. Up to 5 mannequins can be built in each of your camps and shelters at once. It won't be long before people are asking for mannequins in specific poses, and maybe down the line they'll add that as well. It should be a quite easy addition to maybe the item store or whatnot. Special loadouts. Okay, special loadouts offer even more adaptability to your characters in the face of the Wasteland's ever-growing threats by allowing you to modify or completely reboot your special attributes for free. Visit a punch card machine at any time to adjust your special to your heart's content, change your perk card selections, and save your new custom setup into a slot. Your characters will gain access to specials loadouts at level 25. Currently, each character can have 2 special loadouts, and you can swap between them using the punch card machine. In addition, you can rename them, which will help you quickly tell them apart. At level 25, you'll learn the plan to build a punch card machine at your camp, so you can change up your loadouts whenever you head home. While you're in your camp, open up the build menu, navigate to crafting, and select punch card machine and place it down. We've also placed punch card machines at train stations through Appalachia in the crater and at Foundation. There's also one as you go into Fort Atlas on the left-hand side. And that's when you load into the building itself. She'll be on the left-hand side just as you walk in the door. You can use any punch card machines you find in other players' camps as well. We've removed the move a point option from the level up screen since special loadouts allow you to change your stats much more easily. If you'd like to learn more about the special loadouts, you can head here, click this link, and watch our recent dev dive video or read our article on fallout.com. If you want to come to twitch.tv/BlackwellTV, we'll go through it and we can run through things. If you've got any questions, I feel absolutely happy to jump onto that and test things out. You know, links just up there at the top. Head there if you want to check anything out. Stream 6 times a week, Tuesdays to Saturdays, 2 streams on Fridays, 10 AM UK time start, which is 5 AM Eastern. So feel free to come along, and it's always going to be Fallout 76. So ask your questions, join our community, play along with us, and if you're on PC, jump in, play along with us proper. Camp slots. Have you ever found the perfect spot to start building a new Appalachian home, but you just can't bring yourself to tear down your current camp? That difficult decision is a thing of the past with camp slots, which allows you to build and maintain 2 camps at once. You can't have them active at the same time, but you can switch between the 2. Each camp you construct is now saved as a slot, which you can access and manage through the new camp slots menu in the upper left corner of the map. Currently, each of your characters will have access to 2 camp slots, the camp you already have in game, plus an additional slot. You can use the camp slots menu to see all your current camp slots, rename them, choose their map icons, and decide whether your camp is visible to other players on the map. Camp names are only visible to the player who built them, so you shouldn't see anything offensive, which is nice. You can have 1 active camp at a time. All the others will be considered to be stored. Your active camp's map icon will appear gold to you. If you enable your camp's public map icon, it will appear on the map in white to other players. When the public map icon is disabled, only you will be able to see it. Only you will be able to see the icons for your stored camps. Additionally, powering a vending machine no longer automatically adds a vendor icon to your camp's location on the map. Instead, you must set this yourself from using the camp slots menu. To change your camp, or to change which camp you would like to use, head to the map to click one of your camps, or select it in the camp slots menu and then choose Activate Camp. Your stored camp will not load into the world, show icons to other players on the map, or produce resources from resource generators. Your stored camp, right? Okay. Nice. So consider it this way, a couple of ways of doing things. If you've got your dedicated base, awesome. And then if you want to run experiments and do testing and stuff like that, then you can place another camp somewhere else, just temporarily. You know, do what you need to do with it, and then jump back to your main camp when you need to. Or if there's 2 extractors that you fancy, you've got your main lead extractor. Let's say you've got a resource manager, on lead. With a fusion generator set up, and that's your main base. But you need acid for some reason, for whatever reason. You could find an acid node and farm acid, or you could go and oil, with your secondary camp, and then at the end of that, you don't have to worry so much. Jump back onto your main camp and then set up again afterward. That's pretty cool. And also, when it's a problem when you're loading in, your camp can't be placed because it's a popular spot. Maybe you can place down your second camp instead. I like it. Your vending machines have been changed as well. Your vending machines will have the same shared inventory across all of your camps, so you'll not need to reassign the items you would like to sell every time you build a new camp. They've also merged vending machine item slots into a single pool, which means you can now sell a maximum of, I believe, 120 items from one machine, as in 120 different items, which is great. Other types of camp include refrigerators, fermenters, and stuff like that. Also share their inventories across your different camps. Your display cases, however, are not shared. They will give you the ability to show off different items at each of your homes. It's kind of nice. While we were working to implement camp slots, we also added the ability to build and use display cases and vending machines inside of your shelters. Vending machines and shelters will share the same slots and item assignments that those you have built in your camps. Display cases you build inside shelters will allow you to assign different items from any displays that you may have in your camp. Finally, we've made some adjustments so the items you place in your display cases will no longer consume any of your camp budget. Cool. Inventory budget probably still, but not camp budget. Dig even deeper into the camp slots feature by heading here and watching the recent dev dive video and this article on it as well. Again, even more questions. If you've got anything about camp slots, building, anything like that you want to add, join the Twitch channel. This one up here, twitch.tv/BlackwellTV. We have a live interaction. You know, I can talk to you through YouTube, but this is a one-way communication apart from the comments, which is afterwards. If it's a live stream, I can talk to you, you can talk back. We can actually converse and, you know, you can add opinions to stuff as well. So Twitch live stream, super useful for that. So head over there and drop me a follow and join our community there. Daily Ops Expansion. Today's update nearly doubles the amount of available Daily Ops content with the addition of decryption mode, as well as new locations, enemies, mutations, and rewards. So they're all going to be added to the randomized loot. No, not loot. The randomized variables pool. So you can get some completely random stuff coming out of here, in addition to uplink and everything we've known so far. Decryption. In decryption mode, you're on a mission to disable 3 radio interceptors for Vernon Dodge. To do this, you need to hunt for 3 enemy code carriers and then take them down to get a special code so you can disable a radio interceptor. Enemy waves you face will become more difficult after each interceptor you disable until you've killed the Daily Op boss and pulled the plug on the final interceptor. Essentially for that, what we've seen in the PTS is you need to kill 8 random enemies and then you get an interceptor to take down, one of 3. It will be on one of those 3 that you'll get a code, and then you have to disable the interceptor thing. And then it goes a wave of 10 enemies that you have to kill, any 10 in the area, and then it gets another one of 3 to kill. And then once you've killed that, got the code of that one, then that's the second one. And then the final wave, essentially you've got 12 enemies to kill. Once you've killed all 12, you'll get a boss to kill, and then pretty heavy boss to be fair. And then the final interceptor to be disabled will finish off the Daily Ops. That's how it works. Enemies in decryption have a new default mutation called Savage Strike, which makes their attacks more deadly and causes them to ignore your armor resistances. We've also added several new mutations to the randomized pool that can apply to enemies in Daily Ops mode. Group Regen, Swift-Footed, and Toxic Blood. Group Regen enemies heal when grouped together, so keep them separated. Swift-Foot enemies have fast movement, extra fast movement, sorry, and melee attack speed. And Toxic Blood on death enemies have behind a poisonous hazard pool, kind of like how you see when you kill a floater, for example. Is it a Nasher? Is that the green floater? How that looks, basically. I think that's how it is. And if you go in that pool, you take damage. There are new enemy types as well. The Scorched, Mothman Cultist, and Mole Miners in the pool as well. New locations, we've got Vault 96 to go through. Watoga, Raider Arena, and West Tech have been added. In this update for Daily Ops, we've added a host of new rewards, including the Covert Scout Armor, which has some built-in stealthy utility. Obviously, that's going to be helpful for this Daily Op itself, the decryption one. Plans for Unstoppable Monster and Medical Malpractice legendaries have been brought back, and you can actually build them in your camp. And following community feedback, we've also rebalanced Daily Ops rewards list to give players a better chance at getting rare rewards. That's great. I was actually wondering about that one recently. I was wondering why it's a 1 chance a day kind of deal. Like, if people want to binge Daily Ops to get the rare rewards, if the rewards are relatively rare, I feel personally they should be allowed to keep going and grind after grind after grind after grind. Because once they've got all the rewards, and they can just relax on it. You know, they've done the Daily Ops the same amount of time as once a day, and they've got their rewards. That's how I feel it should be. But if they rebalance the reward loot table, then that's great. I'd like to see that, exactly how the percentages work on that one. That'd be cool. Okay, additional design updates. So combat melee attack updates have been implemented with a number of fixes, tweaks, and improvements to player melee attacks so the strikes are more consistently meeting their targets. Events. Hunt for the Treasure Hunter. Keep an eye on our community calendar for upcoming Hunt the Treasure Hunter weekends, because Treasure Hunter mole miners have found some new loot that you can claim for yourself. Let me just head over to PC Gaming and we can have a look at that community calendar as it stands. So the community events are here, all running all the way through May, June, and July. You pretty much see every weekend. There's Gold Rush, Hunt for the Treasure Hunter, Double Score Weekend, Double XP Weekend, Gold Rush. So they're sort of on rotation, but every weekend you've kind of got something to look forward to, which is quite nice. It gives people an insight into the game and something to work towards every weekend. And obviously, repeat business, jumping into the game and eyes on product is kind of what Bethesda are after here. So that's kind of cool. Double Score, Script Surplus, Purveyor Sale, Double Score again, Double Score, Hunt for the Treasure. You know, there's a bunch of stuff in there, which is quite nice. On top of that, the roadmap's here, which is a loose look at the next 4 seasons, really. Spring, summer, fall or autumn, and winter as well. Some exciting stuff there that we're going to be exploring throughout. You know, they're going to be coming to the PTS, and we're going to be taking a look at those as they drop into the game as well. Aim Assist has been added for players who use the controller. That will help them more easily snap their crosshairs to enemies and stay on target when aiming down sights with ranged weapons. I'm not sure that that works with VATS because I don't really use a controller, but be interesting to see how that works, you know, ADS rather than VATS. That's cool. Match crafting. You can now assemble, forge, cook, and manufacture an entire stack of an item all at once using the new slider we've added to your crafting workbenches and so on and so forth. To do this, select the item you want and then adjust the slider to the quantity that you need. Additional perks do work with this in the same way that they would base game without this addition. Yeah, things like super duper proc, but they will only double the vanilla quantities before perks are applied, so bear that in mind. World Activities update. The World Activity menu now includes more than Daily Ops. It will now help you stay up to date with many more activities in the world, including active nuke zones, events and nearby player vending machines, giving you an easy way to find and fast travel to them. Nice quality of life addition there. Sorted. Improvements and bug fixes. Now, this is where it gets a little bit dry, so if you're only here for the new content, then fair play to you. Catch you on the next one. Have a great one. Don't forget to drop a thumbs up on this video if it's helped you in any way, and comment what you are most excited to do, either from this patch or from future content, what you're excited, looking forward to still. If you're here for the bug fixes and stuff as well, then awesome. You're going to learn a lot more about the game, the little subtleties in the game that have been changed. But there's a lot of stuff here, so yeah. It's not that bad, actually. It doesn't look as bad as I anticipated. So, art and graphics. Game camera. Taking lethal damage from PvP combat while exiting power armor no longer causes issues with the game camera. Lighting. The word laugh in the kill, laugh, love neon sign no longer appears much brighter than the rest of the sign. Sort of. Modular sofa. Stand-up animations now play correctly when players get up after using the modular sofa. Power armor. There's a few of these. Portions of Raider Scabber, Raider Waster, and Armor Ace power armors no longer block part of the screen when using heavy weapons in first person. Propellers on the Vertigard power armor jetpack now animate correctly after leaving an interior. Fixed an issue that could occasionally cause power armor pieces to appear separate from the player's character model when loading into a world. Fixed an issue that could cause placed power armor to be invisible to some players during a nuclear winter map. When placing a set of power armor, the placement preview now displays an attached power armor pieces, any attached power armor pieces instead of an empty chassis. The HARE power armor jetpack now correctly displays flame visual effects while it's in use. Cool. And applying a camo Secret Service jetpack mod to a T65 power armor no longer automatically applies the camo Secret Service paint to the power armor torso. Amazing. I'll tell you what though, I am a little tiny bit surprised that we got the words nuclear winter in here. So they still are tiny little bit of testing and touching on nuclear winter. So that's kind of nice to just, you know, they're not adding any new content for nuclear winter, but they are just touching on it, making sure that, you know, they are fixing bugs that are in Nuclear Winter, which is kind of nice. And vertibots no longer appear to stutter while flying through the air. I'll believe it when I see it. Camp and workshops. Build. Players can no longer open the build menu while simultaneously interacting with furniture. Builds categories no longer disappear from the build menu if the player lacks resources to craft in those categories and then toggles buildable objects off and on. Budget. Fixed a rare issue that could cause a player's stored budget to exceed 100% despite having no items in storage. The counter for objects that have a build limit, like turrets and lights, now visually updates correctly as the player builds those objects. Collectron stations adjusted the budget cost to build a Collectron station so that it matches all the others. Perimeter wall railings can once again be built on upper floors. I tell you what, I love that because I've needed that on one of my bases. Lady McLadyface has needed a perimeter wall railing for a while now, so I'm glad they're back. Good. Appreciate that. Thank you, Bethesda. Exploit. Addressed an exploit that enabled players to stack the bonuses from furniture buffs. Players now leave any furniture they're currently using if they interact with another piece of furniture. Stairs with posts can now be stacked on top of themselves. This will allow players to construct multi-level 2x1 staircases without needing to use standalone posts. That's a big one as well, because the stairs are, well, they're the most complex stairs. If you want any stairs in the game that are next to a wall, that's what there are. That's what they're talking about there. So that's good. If they work properly, that's going to be really, really welcome to any of you builders out there, of course. Fixed an issue preventing some objects from being placed on the floor beneath stairs with posts. Cool, so more issues with stairs with posts. They've had a lot of issues then. Workshops, the outline that appears for valid resource extractor placement is now blue instead of green. And Free State's wall signs now correctly appear under the wall decor tab in the build menu. Fair enough, just tidying up a little bit. Menus, like it, appreciate it. Daily Ops challenges. Daily Ops enemies like cultists, blood eagles, and robots, etc. Now correctly progress daily challenges that require the player to kill specific types of enemies. Nice. So they now count as global enemies, I suppose, for them challenges. Okay, we're into Daily Ops. General, when leaving a Daily Ops, players are now correctly returned to the location where they joined the op rather than their last fast travel point. I wondered why that was. It felt like there was a bit of a rollback on when you finished a Daily Op. Like, I remember fast traveling from a Queen battle to a train station, then doing a Daily Ops, leaving the Daily Ops and going straight back to where the Queen battle was. I was like, what? What? Huh? So yeah, I'm glad they fixed that. Enemies. Fixed an issue causing certain Daily Ops enemies to have lower defenses than intended. So they're going to be tougher now. Upon completing a Daily Op, enemies will now stop spawning, and any that still remain will be automatically destroyed. Okay, cool. So when you finish the Daily Ops, you killed the boss, you've done what you need to do, and then, you know, when you're going around, you're picking up ammo, and oh, look, you're just being shot at by someone. Or you're just on the reward screen, and you're just reading the rewards, and someone starts shooting at you. It's like, goddamn, they're all going to be dead now. I kind of welcome that. I don't mind that. Enemies added new sound effects to I-bombs in the robot faction to help warn players. Cool. Hopefully that's not a really loud, irritating noise. Locations made layout improvements to the burning mine and the burrows to aid player movement and reduce disorientation. So it'll be simpler to navigate, basically. Operation report. Fixed an issue that could cause the rare rewards section of the operation report to appear blank after completing the Daily Ops quickly enough to reach an upper reward tier. So it's not going to be blank anymore, basically. If you've completed it on Paladin or Initiate or Elder, if you get something, you get something. It doesn't just come up blank, which is good. Resilient fixed an issue in which resilient enemies sometimes did not die after players hit them with valid melee attacks. So that works on, obviously, the melee attacks that's been sort of addressed, which is quite nice to see as well. Team leaders are no longer kicked from Daily Ops instances if the team disbands. Good. Uplink mode increased the interaction speed of the uplink object. So I wonder if that means that the uplink bar progresses a bit faster, or if it just means that the when you click on it and it brings up that little radial wheel of loading. I wonder if that's a bit quicker instead. Okay, we'll have to see. Fixed an issue in the burning mine that could cause not enough enemies to spawn during uplink mode. Okay. We actually do Daily Ops focus streams on Thursdays. It's part of our Time Trial Thursdays run, where you can win 30,000 bottle caps if you have the fastest time trial of the month. It's quite cool. We've got a team at the moment who have a speed of, let me just have a quick look. The leader is currently rocking a time of 5 minutes 46. So if you feel you can beat that, head over to our stream on Thursdays and give it a go. Items, apparel, the Camo Ops, Tactical Ops and Vintage Football outfits now correctly display on top of the player's armor. Repairing a piece of broken armor while it is still equipped no longer prevents that armor from applying its defensive bonuses. The Moonshine Mama and Old Man Summer Fashnak masks can now be assigned to display cases. The Fashnak Brahmin mask is now scrappable. An empty power armor chassis no longer occasionally appears when another player enters a set of power armor. The HARE, or Hare, and Park Ranger power armors now have appropriate damage and radiation resistances. Power armor? A "you can't store that here" error message no longer appears when attempting to transfer T65 or Strangleheart power armor pieces from one power armor chassis to another. Fixed a rare issue in which players could not exit their power armor or access the Pip-Boy. I couldn't get out of my power armor when playing Nuclear Winter last week, so hopefully that might apply to that as well. Weapons, the 44 pistol paints can now be applied correctly to the medical malpractice weapons, and the damage numbers displayed when attacking with a salvaged Assaultron head now match the damage dealt. That was just a visual bug, it's now been sorted. Melee weapons now properly take condition damage while attacking. Nearly there, folks, nearly there. Performance and stability, client stability, fixed an Xbox One client crash related to viewing a friends list. Fixed a PlayStation 4 client crash that could occur during fertile soil. The client no longer crashes during a Nuclear Winter match after hacking a terminal and choosing the reveal enemies option. Fixed an issue that could cause a client crash when connecting to a Nuclear Winter match. So again, there's more about Nuclear Winter here. So they are still working on it. Not to the extent that, you know, there's new content, new weapons and stuff like that, new maps. But they are still working on fixing bugs for Nuclear Winter, which is kind of nice to see. Loading. Fast traveling after using a shelter entrance that was placed inside of a shelter no longer results in an infinite loading screen. Okay, no infinite loading screen is taken out. Great. Performance. Improved performance when opening the map. Legendary perks. Electric absorption now works against enemy laser attacks in addition to energy attacks. Quests and events. Early warnings. The objective find heating coils at Abby's bunker now displays how many coils the player needs. Flashneck Day and Graham's Meat Cook will now display as completed in the Pip-Boy following the player's next successful completion of these events. And secrets revealed. Fixed several issues with Digger and other Secret Service members that could prevent the quest from progressing. Sounds! Bobbleheads. Charisma Bobblehead now plays the appropriate sound when the players consume it. Compound Bow now plays appropriate sound effects if the player has no ammo when they attempt to fire. Curtain Door now plays appropriate sound effects when opened or closed. The laughing emote sound effects now stop playing if the emote is interrupted before completion. Eyebots no longer bar like the imposter sheep squatch when they explode. Now clear things up during that the imposter event, you know, encrypted, because obviously if there's only one thing that bars, it's the imposter, so it'll be easier to find, especially when it's invisible. The Rustic Watermill now plays appropriate sound effects when destroyed. Second to last, it's the penultimate section. It's the user interface. Here we go. Controls. Fix an issue that could occasionally cause the game controls to lock up when exiting a workbench. The game controls no longer lock up for players who are using power armor stations in someone else's camp when the owner logs out. Controls rapidly pressing the use button when entering power armor no longer causes the game controls to lock up. The fact it did that in the first place is pretty weird, but yeah. On Xbox, entering a set of power armor immediately after modifying it at the power armor station near Grafton Dam no longer causes the controls to lock up. This is a big one. A lot of people have been talking about this one and it's finally been changed, so that's good. Custom item names. After selling an item that had a custom name, that custom name slot will now be correctly returned to the player so they can rename another item. I heard that a lot of people, if they had sold a lot of custom named items, obviously when they sell it, the custom name doesn't stay with that item, but the player loses access to it. So it's good that it's now back in the game and people have, you know, the chance to rename other items afterwards. Exploit. Fixed an exploit that could allow players to equip more perk cards than intended. Localization. In the German client, player names are no longer cut off at the top of the screen when capturing a workshop. Map. Bloody Franks is now labeled correctly on the map. Notifications. Fixed an issue on login that caused a player's season rank to visually reset to 1 in the menus, and fanfares for all of their previously earned ranks to play in sequence. I bet that was annoying. Never saw it myself, but yeah. The fanfare that appears after discovering a new location now scales down for long location names so that the text does not get cut off. Items received through player-to-player trades or from player vending machines now correctly appear in the Pip-Boy's new tab. When viewing a weapon's stats in a Pip-Boy, the damage numbers displayed in the item card and in the lower right corner of the weapon tab are now consistent. Stats for items in the Pip-Boy's new tab no longer persist if the player consumes or drops that item. Items from the Pip-Boy's item tab no longer sometimes appear when viewing the effects tab. Social. Player icons no longer disappear from the recent players menu when players exit the game. Social. Opening the context menu on a player's name in the friends list and then switching tabs no longer prevents the player from scrolling through social menu options. Maybe that's what was causing some of the issues. I don't know. All I know is that social menu is often bugged with this game. If it is with you, then best bet is to probably relog and try again. Tutorials will now pop up for building inside of shelters, and they'll only appear once. And World, we've got to the final parts, guys. Well done. Thank you for sticking with us. World General fixed several locations throughout Appalachia where players could see out of the world. Pathing fixed a number of objects in the world that players could path through or clip into. Pathing corrects several locations throughout the world where players could become stuck. The ash heap added missing radiation hazards to fires inside of the abandoned mineshaft in the ash heap. And Vault-Tec University players can now enter Vault-Tec University instance while on a team. There you go, guys. That is the patch notes update 26. It is April 27th. Hope you're able to get into the game. If you are, then good luck to you. Enjoy those new daily ops and all the new bonuses that come with update 26. Yeah, my name is Blackwell. If you'd like to check out the Twitch channel, by all means do so. It's on screen right now. It's twitch.tv/BlackwellTV. As I say, 6 streams a week, Fallout 76 every time. So there you go. Until then, until the next video, by the way, which should be coming up soon. I've got a C.A.M.P video for new players. I'll be coming out soon. Until then, take care of yourself. Peace and love to you and yours. I'll catch you on the next one.